Time for weekly profit talk. We do this every single week, as the name implies. Uh, the day and time is Wednesday at 8:30 Mountain. If you're on the West Coast, that is 7:30 a.m. And for you New Yorkers and Floridians, that's 10:30 a.m. So every single week, I pop on for just a few minutes and have a little informal chat with my camera here and talk about the things that result in a healthy bottom line. Bottom line is also known as net income. It is for many entities, including most of the small businesses that I do business with. It's the number which your taxable income is based on. So, tax is certainly one of the ordinary and necessary expenses. At least the government thinks so, in a business. And it's one of the things we also talk about pretty frequently. Uh, Estimated tax payment is over. You can still make one if you slap your forehead and go, I forgot. I didn't make an estimated tax payment. The deadline was yesterday. That's fine. Just if you wanted to make a payment and you just spaced it out, jump on IRS Direct Pay. Type those three words into your favorite search engine or searchable browser, and that will bring up the irs.gov make a payment website. Click the big blue make a payment button and go and do that. If you are going to owe over $1,000 when you file taxes later uh, this winter or spring, then you are going to want to make some kind of payment ASAP, like right now, since you're already 12 hours late. So go ahead, do that, because if you are going to owe over $1,000 when you file, you'll owe a little bit extra money called an underpayment penalty. Paying as much as that to within $1,000 of your anticipated tax liability. Doing that in the middle of January, it saves you money that you don't have to spend. And you especially don't want to give more of your hard earned money to the federal government than absolutely possible. Why would you want to do that? So that's what we're here for, is to help you not do that to the best of our ability. Another thing, and this is now key on our minds here in our firm, is we do the Forms 1099-EMPs and -MISCs for our clients, the subcontractors and various other people that they pay on an annual basis. And for us to be able to do that, we need a good Form W9 on file. So today's topic is Form W9. You need to basically ask people for that. I cannot stress this enough. This is an annual stress factor scenario. There are always one or two people that have holdout contractors that won't provide them a W-9 until the very last minute. There is a very simple way to get around this, and this is actually going to become policy in 2024. If you're one of my clients and you're watching this, your most recent or next engagement update will include a requirement to obtain Forms W-9 from anybody you pay, whether or not you believe they're going to make over $600. That's one of the things I hear is, oh, well, I'm just going to pay them the one time, and then you need them again. You go, the combination of the two expenses goes up $650. All of a sudden, the necessity for Form 1099 is there, and you have to ask them for a W-9, and they don't want to do it because they don't want to report it on their taxes. But the thing is, you have to. And you have to provide them the 1099 because you have an accountability responsibility in the event of an audit. If they decide to take a look at your subcontractor costs and you have paid one particular party over $600 and don't have a W-9 on file or have not provided 1099, they'll basically disallow the expense and you'll end up paying tax on it. So plus the penalties and interest, of course. Remember, the IRS's number one favorite form of punishment is to hit you in the wallet, interest and penalties. They don't stand over you and make you do things right while you're doing them. They punish you for not doing them later. So that's why people like me are here, to help you avoid all that nasty stuff that happens. We don't like the number 10 window envelopes from the IRS or your various state governments, because that happens too. My own home state, Colorado, actually has a very similar interest and penalty structure for non-payment of taxes or underpayment of estimated taxes. But one thing that I will say is most states, including mine, will basically take things like the expensing of businesses as a result from the federal tax form. Form 1040 provides either adjusted gross income or taxable income in Colorado's case, and you pay tax on that. So basically, the audit responsibility lies on the federal government, which they're more than happy to take on. They take their time, and then when they do get around to determining something, if they determine that you owe interest and penalties on it, then all that time that they wasted getting around to scheduling an appointment, you're basically being punished for that time too, even though it's their fault. So the best thing you can do is avoid it. And here's how. And now watch this next part very carefully, okay? This is so critically important. Before you pay a subcontractor their very first payment, and I don't care if it's on January 1st, get a W-9 from them. It is a requirement. I'm going to read this actually at the bottom of page 1 of the W-9. Purpose of form. An individual or entity, Form W-9 requester, that's you, who is required to file an information return with the IRS, that's a 1099, must obtain your correct taxpayer identification number, which may be your Social Security number, individual taxpayer identification number, adoption taxpayer identification number, or employer identification number. The first and the last one's the most important, social number or EIN number. To report on an information return the amount paid to you or other amount reportable on an information return. And again, that's a Form 1099. You need to provide 1099s to people to legitimize the expenses that you have for paying them. So let me wrap that up in a nice, neat bow. You really need to get in the mindset of requiring a Form W-9 from every single person you pay that can be construed as a subcontractor. You're going to hear excuses. Well, I'm just selling you goods. Well, do you do that at a profit? Then you're in business. Are you in business? Then you need a 1099. Okay. Now, if they fill out the 1099 and the box is checked S corporation, C corporation, or something like that, chances are you don't have to give them a 1099, and that's fine. But they still need to provide you the information so that you have it on file. And you can show the Fed, well, I didn't give them a 1099 because I didn't have to. And here's my proof. So get a Form W-9 before you pay a person their first payment, period. No exceptions. Sorry, this is the way it is. You can't work for me unless you do a W-9. I am, as you can see over that shoulder, I fool around with music once in a while. I have actually had bartenders hand me a W-9 before they'd pay the band. It's okay. You can do it. Don't feel bad about it. And don't put up with anybody's crap. Basically, what you have to do is get the W-9 or you can't pay them. That's simple. It's one page. They fill out their name, their address, their identifying number. If they do have an EIN, that's preferable. If they don't, then they need a Social Security number, and you have to get it, and you have to get it before you pay them. Do it before you pay them. Okay, have I jumped up and down on that enough? So today is the 17th. Your 1099 recipients need to receive their information return, their Form 1099-EMP or whatever, by the 31st of January. That means if there's going to be a mail float in that, you're mailing it via postal, you better give that several days. Look at my calendar. 31st is a Wednesday. If they live in your local area, I wouldn't fool around. I'd do it Monday morning, the 29th of January. Honestly, we put a deadline on all our clients for a full week prior. We are going to be doing all of our 1099 submissions on the 23rd of January. And for the plain simple reason that it takes the stress off. Okay. Main thing with these compliance things is if you just do it, then it's like a room that you've cleaned up in your mind. It feels better. So with that, I hope you're taking this to heart. Get Form W-9 before you pay anybody a penny if they can be construed as a subcontractor. Okay? All right. So have an amazing rest of your day, a great weekend. And if you have a chance, do something randomly kind for someone today. With that, we'll see you next week at 8:30 Mountain Time. So long.